Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to the Animal Week. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna have an Animal Week takeover. Why? Because I felt like it. So, if you haven't seen, actually, this should definitely go after the Casual Geographic video we saw all about whales. Wow. I definitely wasn't forced to
Whales.
watch it by the guy whose whole personality is about whales.
Yeah, I
So
know,
now we're
like,
gonna do
who did
something I
that?
want to see. Hooray! I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it was just something I just decided to do because I actually was gonna plan to do another video. I just really wanted to do that casual geographic one because obviously with HB really liking whales, I think it would have been a very interesting video. So check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, now we're watching some more tierzoos. So yeah, this whole next whenever I upload this, it's just gonna be a week of animal videos. So
Of
there you
animal
go.
videos.
Yeah, it's gonna be the animal week on our channel. Animal Takeover. So as we were looking to see what tier zoos we both haven't watched, we noticed this one, the SpongeBob Character Tier List by Tier Zoo. I guess predictions. I guess he's just gonna put them in a tier list. Not the actual characters, but like the characters they're based off of.
The animals they're based off of.
Yeah, the animals based off. Unless it is actually like unless this is like an April Fool's video and it actually is just the characters. This was 5 years ago. Let me see when was
Do we
this
not see
uploaded.
the date?
October, alright. So it wasn't an April
Okay.
Fool's thing. So I think it might actually just be like the animals they're based off of. But that's still a funny ass. That's still a funny like title for a video, especially for a tier zoo video. I guess we can make predictions of who we think where everyone's gonna end up on. Who do you think is gonna be the
Per-
top of the top?
Pearl is definitely gonna be number one. She's a sperm whale. Like, there's nothing beating a sperm whale at least from these guys.
Well, it's interesting too because it's been a while since I've seen one of his tier lists, like his tier list videos. So I forget like what he actually like determines what like an S tier animal is. I think it's just like they're like how effective they are, right? Like as an animal, like how well
As
they
a
do what
species,
they're given.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, like how well they do like by themselves, like with the arsenal they're giving, the habitat they live in, their matchups and stuff
Then
like
by
that.
that, plankton and like SpongeBob would be number ones because they're like the most numerous animals in the sea.
True. So yeah, I guess what enough theorizing. We'll find out. With that being said, let us watch the SpongeBob character tier list. And obviously, if you haven't seen the original video, watch that first before you watch ours. Support Tierzoo and ours endeavors so we can get more more awesome videos like this in the future.
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream.
Oh yes, that classic intro. So he has the Breath of the Wild shit. That's funny. Well, at least it kind of looks like it. The UI. Look at him go. You know what? He just spoiled it. But obviously, crabs are S tier now. Like, what's the point of this video now?
To figure out how to do an ocean tier
Obviously,
list
you
or fish
know.
tier list for a while now. But the problem is there's just too many potential builds to include in a single video. So what better way to do it than to artificially restrict the scope of the video to the most well-known fictional server of all, Bikini Bottom. A real place, the characters
Exactly.
are based on real animals that have their own special abilities and signature moves, some of which even affect the plot of individual SpongeBob episodes. So which residents of Bikini Bottom and their real-life counterparts are the best in the current Coral Reef meta? As always, we'll start from the bottom and move up from there.
Alrighty.
So in F tier, we have the underwater squirrel build.
Oh yeah, true.
Squirrels are bottom tier in the arboreal meta.
That's
They
funny.
have one of the highest mobility bonuses in the game in forests, and their teeth deal bonus damage to structures, making them excellent at bending wooden environments to their will, both in forests and suburbs. However, in the reef meta, squirrels are absolutely bottom tier, and this is evidenced by Sandy's many obvious difficulties overcoming pretty basic properties of an underwater playthrough. Sandy's powerful regenerating teeth, while normally a major asset, would actually be a huge liability in an underwater playthrough. Not only are they unable to do any
That clip.
damage when stuck behind a glass but regenerating teeth eventually start to deal damage to the player when they go unused for a long time.
Wow.
So Sandy being forced to wear a suit for most of her playthrough is hugely detrimental. The rest of Sandy's stats are solid, but they're contingent more on her suit than anything else. For example,
I like how
she's really
thorough
high
this
defense,
is.
but a single hit strong enough to crack her armor would easily
Look, it's
do
the
damage
meme.
to her, meaning she essentially has an HP of 1. Her other best stat is that she's got high intelligence, but there are far better intelligence builds to play in the reef meta, so her tier placement remains low. I don't want to waste too much time discussing the underwater squirrel build, since it's the most unrealistic build in Bikini Bottom. So let's move on to D tier, where we have the
never
ocean
know
snail
that.
build. Now, there are ocean snails that I consider high tier, like the cone snails, which have venomous spears. However, it's pretty clear that Gary is not one of these, and is instead a much more basic jack-of-all-trades style snail. Sea snails have exceptionally high defense levels, but not much else. They're nearly invincible while in their defensive stance, except against players with armor-piercing abilities. But, as we'll see, those abilities aren't uncommon in the reef meta, and as a result, sea snails have bad matchups against much of the rest of this list.
Pufferfish.
In C tier, we have the crustaceans, which
there's
comprise
plankton.
a large
Oh,
percentage
plankton,
of
really?
the Bikini Bottom player base, including Mr. Krabs, Larry, and Plankton.
The background song. It's just a remix of the Krusty
Crab
Krab
remix.
theme.
Which is a
A
small
trap
mistake.
remix.
Yeah.
All three of these take the basic crustacean build and modify it for their own specific playstyle.
Okay.
Mr. Krabs sticks pretty close to the basic crustacean build, maintaining high defensive stats with relatively low mobility. The Krab's armor is great at blocking most attacks, although again, armor-piercing abilities are fairly prevalent in the reef meta, so it's certainly not a foolproof strategy. The
That's
Krab's
fair.
claws, while not as
Look at
powerful
the little
as the
cat.
lobster, are also great at crushing and grabbing other players, something even Mr. Krabs uses to his advantage at times. The lobster is a more offensive take on the crustacean build, having claws that can deal devastating damage in a single pinch or
Big
sweep.
meaty claws.
In the show, we see Larry depicted as the strongest
Damn, he
Bikini
crushed that
Bottom
crab.
resident, and I have to agree, in raw power and for his size, he's number one. The copepod, the creature that Plankton is based on, obviously lacks any form of defense and has extremely low HP, being easily defeated by stray blows that weren't even directed at him.
You
The
died.
copepod's best stat would be stealth, which helps Plankton in a lot of his efforts to invade enemy bases, but also frequently ends up hurting him when he's trampled on because he was stepped on by a player that didn't detect him. One special ability I don't see mentioned in the show is the copepod's team strategy with the bacterium Vibrio cholera, which causes cholera, a damage over time effect that has scored countless wins against entire settlements of human players.
Damn.
While all three of these rank about the same
I
on
did
my
not know
tier
that.
list, I think it's safe to say that the lobster would win most frequently
He's a
in
menace.
duel with the other crustaceans. But how about Crab versus Plankton?
They had enough of him in the
Countless
show. He was
times,
too OP.
Mr. Krabs is depicted defeating Plankton in battle, but only once in a battle a legal one rather than a physical one. And while I generally agree with the show's depiction of the physical battles, I can't really comment on how a battle would play out if it took place in a courtroom.
Wow, he got fucking legal ego to do a
Tierzoo
segment.
needs me. Objection!
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the Krabs
Legal
versus
eagle.
Plankton case is how close it gets to real life law. I should know because I've beaten the bar exam final boss on hard mode in New York.
Let's go.
See, a restaurant owner like Mr.
God
Krab
mode.
can be liable to his patrons if he's negligent. Negligence requires four things: a duty between the parties, a breach of that duty, causation between the breach and the harm, and damages. Negligence is
I didn't think I was gonna get
reasonable
legal
commercial
advice
So
in this
his lack
SpongeBob
of
tier
a
list,
wet
but
floor sign
I'm
is
here for it.
pretty bad. And a reasonable restaurant owner would probably put out a sign or not have the floor soaking wet in the first place. But Krabs doesn't owe the same duty to a trespasser like Plankton. Plankton wasn't there to buy food, he was there to steal the Krabby Patty recipe. Therefore, Mr. Krabs probably didn't owe him a duty and wouldn't be liable to him in negligence, even if Plankton wasn't faking his injuries. I'm sorry, Crab. I go into far more detail on my own channel, where I explain how all of your favorite characters are probably breaking the law. Otherwise, you can probably find me playing the MMORPG
No way,
World
no
of
way, no way.
Lawsuits in the professional Anthropocene server as
World of
Legal
Lawsuits.
Rules.
Next League Legal. At the bottom of B tier, we have the Starfish build. The Starfish
Patrick,
build
let's
is one of those
go.
builds
Okay.
which spends very little evolution points leveling its stats, instead pouring all of them into extremely unique abilities. Their first ability is their Suction Cups, an ability they share with the Cephalopod faction. This gives them an extremely strong grip, granting them almost total immunity to knockback moves, and making their own grab attacks borderline impossible to mash out of. That second effect combos nicely into their second ability, their Extendable Stomach. This unique acid-based
yeah.
grapple attack deals devastating damage to anything it succeeds in catching. It bypasses armor and can defeat enemies far larger
Get
than
wrecked,
the
Squirrel.
Starfish given enough time. However, it's got a lot of startup lag, so the Starfish
Firmly
needs to make
grasp
sure
it,
it's got a
so-
secure grip on the target. This ability makes the Starfish one of the best anti-tank builds in the game, since they can pry open the armor of builds like the Clam and Scallop, and then inflict toxic damage, basically melting them from the inside with acid.
Damn.
The Starfish's final and perhaps most impressive ability is their HP regeneration, which is stronger than any other health regen perk in the entire game, being able to completely regenerate their HP from attacks that would spell game over for most other builds. As impressive as the Starfish's abilities are, its stats leave a lot to be desired, having an intelligence level near 0 and a mobility level on par with that of a snail. But in the right player's hands, the Starfish build can go much further than you might expect. Next on the tier list is the
Fair
Sponge
enough.
build, the easiest creature to play in the entire game. Okay, so I'm not gonna
Well,
lie,
there
I'm
goes
not
our
a fan
top
of
two
the Sponge
picks.
build. It's a build catered towards the
Damn.
playstyle of literally AFKing. Sponges gain
Although
XP
the
by
sperm
filter
whale might
feeding
be
and thus
updated.
don't require any decision making or
It has to
active
be.
attention at all to do well.
Yeah, I don't see why it
Sponges
wouldn't.
have a mobility, attack, stealth, and intelligence stat of 0. They don't move, hunt, think, or hide from their enemies. They just sit there and accumulate free XP from the debris in the water. Since they have 0 ability to react to attacks
The
from
best
enemy
AFK
players,
build.
you'd think they would be easy pickings for everyone, and not fare well at all in the current meta. Normally this would be the case, however sponges are worth negative XP to most other builds, because they've incorporated tiny shards of glass into their bodies that damage players trying
Damn.
to feed on them. Some sponges also
the
have
fuck
an
do you even
AoE
develop
toxic
something like that?
debuff active, lowering the incentive to attack them even further. Some builds, like the sea turtle, have resistance to these sorts of countermeasures, and can derive some benefit from attacking sea sponges. But even then, their efforts are better spent on more high-value targets.
That
like
fish is just
jellyfish,
bumping his
snails, and
head.
seaweed. So in summary, sponges are upper mid
Like, eat
tier
it.
because
Eat
they
it.
simply
Yeah, do
aren't
it.
Nudging him
built
to
to
eat it.
fight,
Yeah.
and their
Do
ease
it.
of gameplay means
Do
they
it.
pretty
Do
much
it now.
always
Do
succeed
it faster.
in the weak. Not exactly a build I'm
Do it
excited
faster.
to sing the praises of, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't fairly assess them. In A tier, we've got the Octopus build. The Octopus is a hybrid between a stealth-based build and
Yeah,
an
that makes sense he's up
intelligence-based
there.
one, having exceptionally high levels in both stats. They've got the shapeshift and color change ability that lets them get the camouflage stealth bonus in just about any environment, and their intelligence lets them solve problems using tools and learn new skills by observation. Disappointingly, in the show, Squidward isn't really shown to use the color change ability much. Another thing not shown in the show is that every octopus is at least somewhat venomous. Venom is a powerful tool for taking down prey, and since even a single bite can deal the venom effect for massive damage, venom is also quite effective for pressuring attackers to steer clear. Their suction cups give them a powerful grip, and to be perfectly honest, the octopus is essentially a superior version of the starfish. In addition to having
I can see
suction
that.
cups, multiple arms, regenerative abilities, and venom, the octopus build also gets access to tons of high-level abilities like tool use, shapeshift, and inkjet. The starfish does have one advantage over cephalopods, in that its lifespan is significantly longer. The top tier resident of Bikini Bottom is... The pufferfish build is a variant on the basic fish class that
Oh,
spends
yeah.
all of its points on
Everyone
not
knows.
one, but 2
True.
separate high-level defensive abilities and 1 offensive ability. Those being the Spike Ball and Neurotoxin on defense, and Armor-Piercing Beak on offense. The Spike Ball ability deals damage to the attacker whenever they connect a physical strike on you, and switching to the ball stance also makes bite and grab attacks less accurate against you. This ability is great for countering most of the common threats in the reef meta, and its only drawback is that it reduces the pufferfish's speed while it's active. The pufferfish build doesn't really care about losing
This
speed,
is floating
it
there.
doesn't really rely on speed for escaping or attacking, so it's a great trade. Its second defensive ability, Neurotoxin, ensures that builds in higher weight classes can't just swallow it whole without risk too. The Neurotoxin would paralyze any player who actually managed to get past its first line of defense. Honestly,
This is
having
why I
2
understand
separate
why
measures of
people will
defense
risk their
is a
lives
bit
trying to eat a
overkill.
pufferfish. Like,
Trying
Why?
to get pufferfish.
why?
Even
Or just any
even
animal
professional-
that is like poisonous like that. Like, what?
like apparently even professional it's not recommended to eat pufferfish even like if a professional prepares it. You'd still die, and I don't
Yes,
understand
because
people.
accidents can happen. You can only be so much thorough. Yeah, you just and it costs a lot of money. So why spend that roulette wheel?
You're paying a
reel
lot of money for your death apparently.
for something that could kill you and something that probably doesn't even taste that good. It's insane.
kill.
Exactly.
But considering the pufferfish manages to also have a solid offensive capability,
Think
too,
about it, Adrian. He could buy us all Nintendo Switches, and he chooses to almost die by a pufferfish. Like, I don't understand.
knock it too
By a
much.
pufferfish.
Speaking of, the pufferfish
By
is
Mrs.
another
Puff.
extremely effective tank buster build. It has teeth that absolutely destroy armor, meaning defensive
That
builds
fish
like the
just
clam,
got
crab,
freaking
and snail
eaten.
get demolished in matchups against
Just
the pufferfish.
destroyed.
This impressive blend of
In like
defense
2
and
seconds.
offense
Yeah,
makes
he
the
was literally
pufferfish
just
one of the
chilling there
best
and then
fish
immediately
builds
gets
in the game,
gobbled
in
up.
my opinion, and easily the top tier of Bikini Bottom. It's no wonder Mrs. Puff is shown bodying basically everyone in the show. Hopefully now you've got a good understanding of the Bikini Bottom meta. Also, I hope you like collaborations like this, because a bunch of creators and I have collaborated on
I
You
like
didn't do
how
number
he
one,
didn't.
massive
He
project,
didn't. He
a brand new
apparently
platform
that was
called
the
Nebula.
number one build. They
Nebula
didn't do
serves as a way for
He didn't do
creators like Legal
Pearl.
Eagle and myself to host our
How can you
content
not do
free of
Pearl? It's literally a
demonetization
sperm
and
whale.
algorithmic suppression. It's our own subscription video streaming service.
And
where
where's
we
the
can upload
Flying
not just
Dutchman?
our
I'm
videos,
kidding.
but also several
Where's
You
Poseidon,
lied
bro?
to me.
Where
You lied
are
to me
these
too, dude.
animals?
Soon I'll be putting
Exactly.
out my own Nebula exclusive original content
That's
too.
funny.
But for now, there's already an
Yeah, I'm
entire
sure
library of
Pearl. I
content
mean, who
from
else?
some of
Who else is
YouTube's
in the
best
show that he
educational
didn't cover?
creators ready to be
That's like a
watched.
different animal.
Nebula has actually partnered with Curiosity Stream, so you can get access to Nebula for free when you sign up for a membership with Curiosity Stream.
I mean, there was a bunch of like those animals from like the bottom. Yeah, when that one time where they went to rock bottom, but like they're not recurring characters, so that makes sense.
It hosts several of my favorite nature documentaries, including many of the dinosaur documentaries that I've parodied so frequently.
I'm not sure.
If you click the link in the description, you'll get a free trial of
I think that's
both
it actually. I think
services.
that's like the
And
most.
the free subscription
Those
to
are all
Nebula
the
stays for as long as you're a Curiosity Stream member.
the noticeable ones at
So
least.
for only $20 a year,
Yeah.
you can get total access to not one, but two of the best places on the internet for high-quality educational content. And as I said, I'll be dropping some great originals there soon that I wouldn't want you to miss.
Anyways, yeah, if
I
you
hope to
want to
see you there,
support
and until
tierzoo,
next
there
time,
there
good
are
luck out there.
multiple ways to do it. But yeah. Look, this is the video he was referencing. It's funny.
Illegal eagle.
Real
It's
lore
illegal,
reacts to
but it's equal.
SpongeBob SquarePants Crabs vs. Plankton. Featuring Tierzoo, let's go. They did a collab, like a vice versa. That's funny. But yeah, that was Tierzoo's the SpongeBob character tier list. You know, fair enough. It makes sense based on the requirements he was you know, judging the builds from. Yeah, it makes perfect sense why everyone's placed where they are. I don't really have any complaints, other than Pro not being there, which is kind of weird. Unless we're like missing something, but I don't think so.
No, there's no way. I analyzed the video all throughout the 12 minutes,
through-
43 seconds.
As a matter of fact, we're gonna add 30 extra minutes to the video, just look going frame by frame to see if we can spot Pro.
Exactly. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. This is content.
Science.
But yeah, that's it's funny. I always really liked how Tierzoo explains like animals and stuff like it's a fucking video game.
Like it's a video
It's
game.
it's very epic. Yeah, like coral reef meta is looking a bit off today. I love how he fucking like describes it and shit. It's very funny, very entertaining.
It's very silly.
Yeah. Again, breaking from that traditional, just having a narrator and just like footage in the background, just talking about like animals and stuff. Definitely makes it more entertaining for like kids, because I feel like just look if you're a kid, looking at animals in general will be very exciting. But then once you get older, you're just kind of like, okay, this voice is kind of making me tired, bored.
What? Like which one?
I don't have any particular, like any specific ones, like particularly. But I'm just saying, at least for me, like once I got older and older, I was just like hearing like this nonchalant voice like talk about animals and stuff. I could do it for like 30 minutes or something, but like if they're like hour-long specials or something, I just get bored and then I just like watch something.
Oh, you're talking about like National Geographic.
Basically, you know, just I feel like that's a comic thing, just in general, not just a National Geographic thing. Just like the standard is just having like really high quality like footage, obviously, in the animal you're talking about, and then just having like a narrator in the back. Just like calmly talking about the animal. And I'm just saying, at least for me personally, I don't know anyone else can relate to it. It kind of gets boring after a while. So I just really like how like not only short and simple these videos are as well, like right to the point. They don't like extend it for longer than they have to. I just really like the way these tackle it, and I think these will be very good for like other people to get interested in animals and stuff.
When you said voices, I thought you were like, wait, you're talking about the SpongeBob characters? Talking about like
Oh
SpongeBob or
no,
something?
I
Like,
was talking about the narrations that happened during those documentaries.
oh, okay.
I love the voice actors for SpongeBob.
Amazing.
They're very good at what they do, especially Plankton's voice actor. I really like his voice. I think it's literally I don't think they could have casted anyone else to play Plankton.
Anyone else to play Plankton?
I literally can't hear anyone else play Plankton. Also, apparently that Plankton movie is really good, so you know
Oh yeah.
we're gonna have to check that out soon.
Apparently, a lot of people were still bitter about the Sandy Cheeks movie, so they've been giving the Plankton movie a lot of bad reviews. Apparently.
What?
Yeah.
How can you even do? Oh, I guess you can do that because of the Rotten Tomatoes, and also because of the Netflix like thingy. But what? No, I heard really good things about like the Plankton movie. Well, at least better things than like the Sandy Cheeks one. But yeah. Anyways, that doesn't really have to do anything with the video, but
No, but like.
but yeah. That was a SpongeBob character tier list, and unless you have anything else to say, Adrian, I think we just wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Again, just like I mentioned in the casual geographic video, I really enjoy tierzoo, his style of like video making and how he like focuses on different animals and stuff. So in the future, we'll definitely sprinkle in some more tierzoo as well, as new videos come out that seem interesting to us. So look out for that in the future as well. And yeah, I guess until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, guys. It is me, the back comp diver, and please like and subscribe because we hear no green card. I'm illegal as shit.